project is to divide this little Cylindrical Sansevieria plant. Now this is just planted, let me show you, in a little bit of, it almost looks like coconut husk or cocoa coir. So there's not too many nutrients in there, although they seem to have rooted well. And my feeling is that these were just rooted spikes that they have planted in here. So we'll find out. If not, I will divide them by cutting the roots. But I think that's such a tiny pot for 7 different plants. And if I put each one of these in a pot, they should send up more of the spikes and create their own little plant. So I could potentially have 7 plants here in this one tiny pot, which I think I paid $8 for at the grocery store. So if I'm successful, in a couple of years, I'll have these individual plants and I can have a Sansevieria in every room, which is great because these are rated, I think NASA rated them as the best air purifying plants. So if you want to add Sansevieria to your home, you are going to have an air purifier. So let me go ahead and see what we find in here. I'm going to just pull off, and this was just a cover pot that it came with. It's very pretty. I might even drill a hole in there and use it for something else, or for one of these, but for now it is so well rooted in there, and I hope you can hear me over the airplane and the air conditioner and the cicadas that are in the background. But there we go. Look at how much it is rooted. And like I said, this is an awfully small pot for 7 individual plants. So although it looks cute like this, you could pop this whole thing in a bigger pot and it will also expand. But I'm going to give it a try making it into 7 different plants. So let's give it a try. Now I'm going to pull this apart. And I don't feel like it's a very rich mix. It looks like peat now that I have it open. I was thinking it was cocoa coir, but I think it's just some spikes that were stuck into the peat. And they've rooted successfully, but I'm gently pulling them apart. And it doesn't look like any of them are attached to one another. If that were the case, I would use a knife to separate them. But if you can see here, I'm just gently pulling them apart, and you know, a couple of the roots will probably break, but that's fine. Plants are resilient, especially Sansevieria, but look at the root system on this one. That is really fantastic. I hope you can see. Just gonna keep coming over to the camera, but look at that fantastic root system, and most of them have it. So each one of these can be planted in a separate pot, and what's going to happen is they are going to send out more spikes, and they will multiply in their individual pot, and they will turn into a fuller plant eventually. So I'm just going to go ahead. These are just little nursery pots. They're plastic, and I saved them from, you know, plants I got, little cacti, I guess. But they come in handy when you want to do some dividing. What we're doing here is basically dividing up a plant I bought. And I'm going to get 7 plants for the price of 1. And, you know, I can give them as gifts, too. That always works. And let's see, who's calling me? Oh, it's my editor. Why, hello. I'm making a video right now. What's up? All right. Okay, there we go. The first one's all planted up. I've just buried the bottom part. Not very far, but here's what it looks like. Now it's gonna look kind of funny for a year or two, but mark my words, it will turn into a bigger plant with more shoots coming up the side. But it will certainly, I'm basically giving it lots and lots of room. This one's a little smaller, but lots more room than it had when it was crowded in, all 7 in one pot. So I think they're kind of whimsical and fun like this, but they will eventually fill out the pot. Once their roots get more established, they will send up more. And I'm packing it in so that they stand up straight. But look at that, guys, 7 little plants in the pot. And this isn't exactly a division video because sometimes you dig down and you have to cut between the rhizomes. This was really simple. They weren't even attached to one another. They were just rooted spikes. So there you go. That is how easy, oops, and one went over. Let me fix that one up. That is how easy it is to get 7 plants from one little pot of plants that you buy. And whenever you buy plants, you should look for pots that have multiple plants in them, and you can do something like this. Sansevieria for everyone. And they are standing up very nicely on their own. They're not very big, so just pack that soil in and the roots will do fine. Now Sansevieria, of course, don't like to be too wet, so I think that I'll wait a few days. These were very dry in this pot, but I think I'm going to wait a few days and then I'll go ahead and water them in here. And it's a good idea to wait a few days as well, because if you have damaged any of the roots, it gives them a little bit of time to heal before you add water. You don't want to end up with any rotting going on because you've damaged a root. So give it a couple days before you water it. Then water it in well, and since they are rooted, just let them get dry after you water them. Between waterings, let them get dry, and they will do really, really well. Now, Sansevieria can tolerate low light, but all plants, you don't want to put it in direct light, but it will do well in moderate light as well. Nothing direct, but something indirect, or a tad bit of morning sun, but not a lot. But a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that they don't need any light at all, but they are plants, and to photosynthesize, you do need to give them, they do need some sun. So I'm almost done here, guys. Look how easy it was for me to turn one plant from the store into 7 little babies. They're just fantastic. And this one is the original pot, I think. Oh, let me put it in here, actually. I'll put it in here. But in about 5 minutes, I have given each one of these plants their own space to send out roots and become its own wonderful plant. And I don't think they're particularly fast growing, but that's okay. I'm patient. But look at that, guys. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Oh my gosh, it was a hummingbird. It startled me, but that was a hummingbird coming to my butterfly bush. I actually didn't know that they liked it. It was a large, I thought it was a large bug, but it was a bird. I hope you were able to see it in that fleeting little moment there. But that's why I like to work outside. Anyway, there we go, guys. Seven little plants. Let me give you a close-up of this one. There we go. And that is just in a recycled nursery pot. And I am really excited about that. So like I said, it's not exactly dividing a plant, but I split up a plant that had 7 rooted spikes in it. And I am really happy that I will probably be able to have Sansevieria in every room. Now when this pot fills with roots, I'll just put it in the next size up. And that way it will have more space to send out some shoots. So guys, thanks for tuning in. I want to thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Let me know if you've done this with a plant, if you've gotten a plant from the store and made multiples out of it. I've done this with jade plants before as well, and ponytail palm. But it's a great way to end up with more plants. Not that I need more plants, but it's always fun to let the plants live up to their full potential. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!